Friday, everybody. Look, full house. 2 days ago, you only had me. Today, you got Sean, you got Amadeus, and introduce Mr. Zach to our audience here, Sean.
Yeah, Zach. He's a student at Rider. Zach, you're a junior, right?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay, you're sophomore at Rider. Sports media major, and trying to get into different sports, and gonna have him on. He's gonna be on as much as he wants here. It's over the next couple months, and talking a little bit of what's your favorite sport, Zach?
It's probably a toss-up between basketball or baseball, one of the two.
Okay.
Pro basketball or college basketball?
NBA for sure.
Okay.
And baseball just about ready to start. They've got some of these.
They got the world.
The World Baseball Classic
this weekend.
Yeah, are you kind of are you excited for that, Zach? Are you kind of ready to see this season get going here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the World Baseball Classic is just really fun. I think just like the vibe of the whole thing, because it's kind of bringing like the Olympics kind of it's their like the same kind of vibes, but it's with baseball, and like the broadcast booth is obviously amazing with Matt Vasgersian doing it, and I just think it's a great.
Matt Vasgersian fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. DR is picked to win. USA right there. Obviously Japan, Otani, and those are really the three main teams. But there's a lot of decent teams. Once again, Italy's got players on every team. Puerto Rico, Venezuela.
I know. Amadeus and I tried to get them to sign up for Italy, but
man, I'd rather watch Team Italy than Team Canada at this time.
Well, that's this point.
The tough thing, it's not like I think baseball is a little bit different than like the World Cup because look, yes, of course, Dominican Republic, USA, Japan, the main favorites, but you could see a team like Puerto Rico maybe. Doing well, getting to Mexico, something like this. I mean, there's enough.
Mexico have legit players on their team.
Yeah, there's enough pitching. Obviously, Denmark's not winning a World Cup final. So
yeah, but look how far Australia got a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no, if you have pitching in this league, you can win. I mean, I think that's the good thing about this World Baseball Classic. But yeah, it's exciting.
That and the Thundersticks. That and the Thundersticks from Japan.
You'll watch a few of the games this weekend?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Do you have a favorite baseball team?
I'm actually all of New York fan, basically, and everything.
You're actually a Mets and Yankees fan?
No, I'm like every sport. I'm a New York fan, so I like the Mets, the Giants, the Nets, and for hockey, I don't really watch hockey.
Okay. That's fair. You got the Rangers to worry about, so I can see that.
The Mets right now, I mean, when you look at the odds to win here, I mean, the Mets right now, fourth choice. I think
it all depends on their pitching. We're supposed,
that division is brutal too. I mean, the crazy thing about it, like the Phillies got to the World Series. I think there's no chance they repeat because. When you think about it, they finished 17 games back of the Braves and Mets. So I just don't think that you're not making up 17 games, and you're probably not.
They'd have to sneak into the wild card somehow, and they do not have a good pitching staff nor a good bullpen. So it's very tough to bet with them on that.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
they were great. They were great to bet against, though. Every time Corey Knievel came out on that mound at the end of the game, just hammer the other team.
I know.
Yeah. I think the National League is crazy because you got the Dodgers, the Mets, the Braves, the Padres, the Phillies, and the Cardinals all in the top probably
in there.
Yeah. I haven't seen the latest power ranking.
Well, and with regard, the Giants may not be that far away. They've got some pretty decent guys on their team too. So getting out of the West, the Dodgers, the Giants, and the in San Diego. San
Well, that's
Diego,
the thing. I mean,
San Diego, the left side of the infield for San Diego, okay, is contractually just shy of $1 billion.
The East and the West. I mean, I don't know what's going to go on with the Central, but the East and the West, they're loaded. I mean, they're four of the last 5 pennant winners for 3 of the last 4 have come from the NL East.
Right.
2 of the last 4 World Series winners. So yeah, I think I'd like to see MLB power rankings right now. Oh, here we go.
They're
Power
I don't know. I think that to me the question for the Mets is somebody who I love to death, and that's Max Scherzer. Is Max going to be able to, at 39 years old? And look, nobody outworks Max. I mean, I've seen him when I, covered the Nationals. I saw Max a lot, and I saw him early. He's the first guy out, on the field to warm up. I mean, there's nobody that keeps himself in better baseball shape than Max. So I have great respect and love him as a player. I prefer him not being on the Mets, but that's nothing I can do about that. Anyway, he's had dead arm when he got to the playoffs the last couple of years. And that's a concern. I mean, a concern is, are you going to throw a guy 200 plus innings and then expect him to be a genius whenever he gets the postseason?
And I'm not even sure he threw 200 innings last year because he was hurt for a good amount of years.
Yeah, he was on and off. But I'm just saying, normally, a 200 inning year is not it's something that Max gets you. So you need to know. I mean, all of those guys on the Braves are young. The pitching staff, they got a very young pitching staff, and they're all good. So we'll see. It'll be interesting for sure. And look, the Phillies can just bash the ball out of the ballpark. It's just a matter of can anybody keep you up. They can win. What was it, Amadeus? We were saying about the Blue Jays.
I was talking about Team USA in the baseball classic. Everybody's on Dominican Republic, but I said, USA, their pitching is crap, but they have the hitters, and it works for the Blue Jays, right? I mean, you don't really need the pitching if you're going to score 14 runs. So
it's 14-12. Who cares? All my pitching staff has a 7 ERA. Doesn't matter. We're putting 9 we're putting 9 runs up on the board every day.
Yeah, that's what we had to do every time Barrios was on the mound. So it's sometimes it's a strategy.
Yeah,
outscore the other team.
Yep. Oh man. We'll have Steve Kinsella on. Steve is he'll talk to us. He's a regional writer in the South, covers all the stuff down there. And he's a really good baseball guy. So we'll have Steve come back and talk to us about it. And he covers the Rays, and they should be just as good as they were last year. So there's a lot to be interested in, and we'll see. But yeah,
and I'm sure I'll be as familiar with the pitching staff as I was last year.
Yeah, I don't know where they get these guys, but they get them and they train them.
Yep. They use him for a year. Oh, this guy's great when he's young, and then it's like, get rid of him.
Out of here.
Make some money. Make some money from him.
Well, they got they'll trade them and they'll get other guys. They're kind of, they are the absolute and total analytics team. I mean, that they don't do anything that isn't analytics.
They're like the Monaco of the MLB. They're just there. They're just there to like buy and sell. I know you obviously can't buy and sell in MLB, but they're just there to make money. They're just there to buy and sell pitchers.
Right. Are you speaking of French? Are you down on PSG now in the second leg? No Neymar.
Man, well, we knew he was going to be at his sister's birthday party for that one.
Well, he missed his mother's birthday party.
Oh, his mother's birthday party. Oh, my bad.
Oh, well, and then
I heard you. The only reason I know that is because Amadeus said He's gonna go to his sister's birthday party.
Every year, this guy, man.
Well, I mean, family, that's good. So I see, a headline: Neymar couldn't make his mother's birthday. Like, okay, he's gonna go to his sister's, and so he stiffs his mother. That's not nice.
Well, he's not banging his mom, but.
No, I didn't. That is not what I meant. I meant that he didn't go to her birthday.
No, I know, like that's why he's got. It's just. And then Hakimi now is.
Oh man, he's in hot water.
He's in trouble now.
He's in some real hot
water. That's look. I mean, Zach, we talk a little soccer on here. So we got the Premier League and the Champions League coming up next week. The Premier League this weekend. My buddy's going over to Tottenham, AC Milan, and Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund. He's going to go see those two matches. He can't figure out why there's no hotel rooms in London. I'm like, you got Chelsea playing Tuesday night against Dortmund, probably bringing 10,000 fans, and you got Milan playing on Wednesday, and you probably bring 10,000 fans to Tottenham. So, there's your hotel rooms right there. But Benfica, Bruges, Chelsea, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, PSG, Tottenham, AC Milan, all next week. All Chelsea minus 124, Bayern Munich minus 120, Tottenham minus 103, Benfica minus 235. I don't know. I don't think the two England teams. I don't think both English teams get through next week.
Really? Well, I definitely, after watching the first leg, I definitely think Chelsea probably finds a way to come back. They're not getting results, but they're playing well. Their attack looks a lot better. I think it's going to start clicking at some point. I don't think they're going to make a run to get anywhere into European competition in the.
I think Dortmund scores a late goal to tie it 1-1, and Dortmund goes through.
Really, you think they're gonna blow it like that?
I think Chelsea gets knocked out. I'm not sure about Tottenham either.
Yeah, that one I couldn't tell you. I know AC Milan's going to get smashed by Fiorentina this weekend. Though.
He's an AC Milan. Zach, do you watch any soccer at all?
No, I do not.
Well, you're not being quizzed, Zach, so that's okay. Don't worry. Not yet.
I watched the World Cup. Which one was it? It was the one where Germany won. I watched bits and pieces of that.
So 8 years ago.
Yeah, I was like 12 probably. But I watched.
Now I feel really old. Go ahead.
Yeah, I liked Neymar back then for sure. That was probably. I don't know. I think that was last time he was that was probably the best he ever was. I don't want to say that and be wrong, but.
No, that's about he's about 22, so he's flying then. I mean, now he's one of these players.
Old.
Yeah, you know what? Those skill players sometimes after you get kicked every day for 5 weeks, 5 years, you just you kind of get beat up there. I ain't got a lot, so can't.
Any games you guys like tomorrow?
Yeah, I just mentioned that I thought my AC Milan is going to get smashed by Fiorentina because I expect them to be looking ahead to the trip to Tottenham in the midweek. I'm not sure if they play Tuesday or Wednesday, but it doesn't really matter because Fiorentina is getting hot right now. And if anything, I don't know if there is Conference League this week. I'm pretty sure there is, but they play on Thursday and they're playing the Saturday match. So Fiorentina is going to have plenty of rest for their European competition. AC Milan is not going to get a lot of rest. They have the 1-0. So they're going to be really focused on midweek Champions League. I could see them going to Fiorentina and getting smashed because Fiorentina they've been hot. They're scoring goals now all of a sudden.
There's some interesting games. See if Foxy's here yet or not. I think Manchester City plays. So Newcastle has to play the first game, in the morning. Obviously there's midweek games, so that's a little bit. It's not like they played yesterday. They have to play again, but I think Manchester City rolls. I think they saw Arsenal win the other day 4-0. I think they're gonna come out here and win pretty easily. I don't think Newcastle can score enough goals. I think, they were a little bit. I think that run. If they would have won the cup, I think they might have had enough gas to keep going. I think they could run out of gas here. I think they've already started to. I mean, when you look at the table, they're in fifth here, and they're 4 points behind Tottenham, with 2 games in hand, mind you. But they're going to have to play those games in hand at some point. I think they're 8 points back of Manchester United here. I think City wins this pretty easily tomorrow. They're minus 200, obviously. Take them -1, but Bournemouth, minus 530. I think they once again they smash them. I think that won't even be a match.
I wanted to take the -1.5, but it's not even. It's like a -2 now.
Yeah. You probably put it in a
no value after that 4-0 smashing.
Brighton and West Ham. West Ham obviously played on Wednesday, and they played full strength. Brighton played Tuesday and won.
And didn't they still lose to your Man United?
Yes.
Full strength?
Yes. I didn't understand what they were doing. I thought they would. Manchester United, they scored late. They scored 3 goals late. I mean, they scored in the 90th and 94th minute to win it, 95th. But, they had 50 chances.
At this rate, their best bet is just to, stay out of relegation and win the Conference League, because you'll get back into Europa League that way. But
they got to stay out of relegation. I think Brighton wins that game. I like Brighton a lot in that game, -130-ish. Chelsea leads. I don't like Chelsea at all in this game. I think, once again, they're looking ahead to the midweek. They have to play Tuesday, so I think he's got to – the league is done. They're not finishing top 4. They're not finishing top –
He's on the hot seat, too. He's got to – if they're not advancing in Champions League –
I think he's got to focus on I think he's got to prioritize Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah, he's definitely, especially when they dominated that match in Germany, and it was basically just, they hit the post. It was so close to being 1-0 them, and then it was a counterattack the other way. And I forget his name, but that was one of the nicest goals I had seen all Champions League. That was just beautiful, the way he tapped it around the goalie. But yeah, I definitely think Potter, he's got to focus on that midweek match. They need to advance here if he wants to keep a job.
Chelsea, Dortmund. What's Chelsea? Demi scored.
Yeah. He's
so
good.
Yeah. Wolves have to go. Or Wolves host Tottenham. I think it's the same thing. I think that's a tough game for Tottenham. I know Tottenham has to kind of focus on both now. They can't really not focus on the Champions League because they're in the top 4 here. I think that's a really tough game for them. Going to Wolves, Wolves and draw is probably Wolves and draw is -150. That's ridiculous. They're +240 and Wolves and draw is -150.
Yeah, that doesn't make
Southampton,
sense.
Leicester City. If you bet that, you have issues. I would take Leicester City, but I don't know. They stink too. Southampton.
If you're betting that game, we have a 1-800 number you can call.
Same thing on Sunday. Sunday the first game, Nottingham Forest, Everton. I wouldn't touch that. If I did, it would be probably Forest at home +160 or Forest.
Probably an under, but
Forest draw no bet. Yeah, under 2.5 is. The under 2.5 is -186.
Yeah, it figures. You'd have to take the 2 at that point.
And obviously Sunday, the big game, United and the Scows. And then who's the game on Monday? Brentford Fulham is an interesting game too. Fulham is +275.
Those are kind of like the same team to me.
Yeah, like why is Fulham plus 275 in that game? Fulham or draw is minus 110. And take that.
I could see that being like a 0-0 or 1-1. I figure lower scoring game. Brentford has seemed to struggle to score against these better teams like Brighton and things like that, or teams like that. So I could definitely see Brentford struggling to score. And then Fulham, their defense has been great, but their attacking is like out the window. It's like the first half of the season before the World Cup, they had gone over in every single Premier League match except for like one or two. And coming out of the break, every single match has almost gone under because their defense has just been unbelievable. It's like they did a complete 180. Their attack, they traded their good attack for a better defense, but now they have attacking woes when before they had defensive woes.
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
No, I was just gonna kind of switch gears to NBA to get Zach involved a little bit. I said maybe about 6 weeks ago I said I thought the Eastern Conference Finals matchup would be the Bucks and the Sixers because I thought the Bucks would catch the Celtics by the end of the season. I was wrong. They caught them by the end of February. They've won 16 in a row. They're 45-17. They're absolutely scorching hot right now. 45-17 now. They just had, the Bucks with everybody there, I think, are the best team. Are you Zach? Are you Knicks or Nets?
I'm a Nets fan.
Okay, so what do you think?
Condolences.
You stole my line.
Both those teams in the, they're right there in both the New York teams are in the, top right now in the top 6. So, outside of the playoffs, I mean, what are your thoughts there on that NBA in the East?
So I think the East it's coming down to Milwaukee and Boston. It's going to come down to Milwaukee and Boston. I think the Sixers have an outside shot as well. But I think it's Milwaukee and Boston, and I think it's always been Milwaukee and Boston this whole season. And as for the Knicks and the Nets, I mean, the Knicks are red hot. Getting Josh Hart was big because he's a really good player. He's a very underrated role player. And he was on Portland, too, because he had like 3 straight games right when he got traded to Portland, I think last year, where he had 40 points. Or maybe it was something like that. Or he had 40. He just stretched up like 40, 30, and 40 again. Mm-hmm. And he was really good. And I think that really is helping the Knicks right now because RJ Barrett is not doing good. And he's been a very disappointing player for them, especially since they drafted him and they wanted him to be the guy.
Right.
And for the Nets, they're just obviously tanking for a draft pick. I don't think. If they make the playoffs, it'd be
a long way to tank. I mean,
I've never seen a team in third place decide they're like fourth place, pretty much in the top half of the Eastern playoffs
to even get to the to get to the ping pong ball stages.
Well, they're 5 games out of the playoffs. The Bulls are 29.
Yeah, and they sold their entire team at the trade deadline.
Right. Yeah. No,
There's a Philip Roth novel by the name of The Great American Novel, which is a bunch of short stories. I strongly recommend if you are a baseball fan. There's a story in there that Roth wrote about an owner of a baseball team who sells the stadium that he plays in, and they play 162 road games. So it's a hilarious bit. It's only about a 25-page story, but it's The Great American Novel. And that kind of is like what's going on with the Nets, right? They can't sell Barclays Center because they don't own it, but they can sell everybody on the team. The thing that would concern me about the Knicks, and they're good, you're right, they're playing good, is depth. When you get into the playoffs, you got to have depth. And that's a team that just, they got 6 maybe good guys, and the rest of them are, 5 guys named Mo. So I don't know about that. But, hey, get in the tournament and see how it plays out, right?
I mean, to add on to your point there, they also have a lot of streaky players like Julius Randle.
I was going to say, I think he's the problem on the team.
Yeah, he's very streaky. When he's good, he's really good, and he looks like an all-star. But when he's bad, it's really disappointing to watch.
And he's bad in the locker room, too, when he's bad.
Yeah.
Well, chemistry, what are you going to do? Yeah, but you were talking about the West yesterday for a minute, and Dallas and
They finally got another win with Kyrie, Jim.
Yeah, I know.
But right who didn't get?
I said, oh, don't worry, they're gonna lose tonight.
You know who didn't get a win though?
Who's that?
Clippers now 0-4 with Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, well,
and they're on a back-to-back. What is it?
Does anybody understand that you're not going to win with Russell Westbrook? is this something? I mean, it's almost as funny as John Wall. I mean, good Lord. The only guy to make $100 million and play 20 games, in a career. I mean, jeez,
living the life.
The West, look, I don't know if anybody believes in Sacramento or Memphis. Or
outside of Sacramento or Memphis, no.
I would probably bet my house it's going to be Phoenix and Golden State in the Western Conference Finals as long as they're on the separate sides of the bracket. Because I don't know, I don't have any faith in Memphis or Sacramento. I know Sacramento's playing better, but I think sometimes in these playoffs you gotta kind of be there a couple times before you can kind of get there. Well, I think we'll see. I think
I'm taking Denver over Golden State right now.
Denver?
Yeah.
Denver if they stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. Jokic should just throw the team on the back and just carry him.
Doesn't he do that every day?
Yeah. And what is he? What is he going to be? The 3-time MVP now?
Right. He's going to be 3 feet, 3 inches shorter from carrying the team this time around. Is anybody hurt in Miami? Because I don't understand. Spoelstra's usually pretty good about getting his team in the playoffs, and they're right on the ball.
They're
a game and a half out.
Injuries.
They're in the plane now, aren't they?
They're the plane. Yeah, no. I'm just saying they're. Yeah, so are the Wizards.
It's tough to gauge their injuries because they got in trouble with the NBA earlier this season for not reporting injuries, and as the way they got the NBA back is now they throw everybody on the injury report whether they're going to play or not.
Yeah, 12 guys on the injury.
Yeah, and I've seen it because I write, so I see these injury reports and I go okay, so this guy's probable with rest/load management, probable rest/load management. Now I don't know if they're still doing it, but they were doing it for a while, and it always seems to be like 5 to 12 people on their injury report.
And the guy that comes off the injury report scores 30 points. So yeah, not a good prop bet team, Miami. That's one of those ones you stay away from that.
Yeah, now they want to get rid of. They stole our lovely Raptors player Kyle Lowry, and now they want to get rid of him after like a year or two. So
the way that it goes, those are in. Memphis. Man, wow. I don't know about Memphis.
They got a lot of outside distractions right now with John Morant.
Yep.
You just stop putting guns on people.
17-year-olds.
You guys do it in stereo. Well done.
I can see where he's coming from because he's younger than me. He's only 23, and he probably views himself like still in that high school mindset. But you can't do that.
After he beat him up, he went and got a gun.
Yeah, I know.
He beat him up.
I know. And then he just.
I do not understand why NBA franchises do not hire security on their own to keep the players in line. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You only have to make one stupid mistake, and your roster's doomed because of one foolish incident. When a guy goes out for a night on the town.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to get at. He might think because he's so close in age that it's okay. And I understand that because I'm only 24. I'm in the same, and I'm sure Zach kind of gets it too. But you have to look at it how everybody else is looking at it. You're an adult beating up a minor, and that's serious. That's a serious crime you're committing now.
Anywhere.
And then on top, it's just on top of that, you want to add the fact that there's so much I could say about this.
So many levels.
Yeah, it's just like I totally understand, but yeah, you got to look at it like you're an adult, you're beating up on a minor, and you're an NBA player, which means people are going to come after your money. You got to think about that too.
I don't know if you remember this, but when Charles Barkley was early in his career, and he was I forget which town he was in. He got in an argument. Then it escalated to a fight, and he threw a guy through a plate glass window. Now, never let Charles, understate what he like. Getting in a fight, throwing a guy through a plate glass window is pretty severe. And so the league had to come down on him, and they took a lot of his money at the time, and he realized one thing, and that was, I may have a temper, but I like my money better, and I like playing basketball. So you walk away if you can, and if you can't, you're in trouble, and you represent the team, and that's the problem in every contract, in every clause, in every sport that is professional. There is a morals and ethical behavior clause, and that basically is the first thing that will be slapping you in the face when you get back to the arena or wherever you're going, from the general manager, because he'll be sitting there going, you violated this thing, and you know what that can cost you $125,000 on the first hit. In some cases, it can cause you to get cut. So, and I don't care how good you are. I've seen guys get cut who were stars, and the team just doesn't want them. Look at what happened to Ray Rice in Baltimore.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. I mean, these were guys who legit went through. I'm not condoning what they did. Let me start with that straight up. But what did they do? They went. The league told them to do X, Y, and Z. They did X, Y, and Z. They did everything the league asked them to do. And then the moment that a second, thing might have occurred, which may or may not have occurred, he was cut. I mean, Ray went out the door pretty fast. So, you can be the top player on your team. Then you got Deshaun Jackson. That drives me nuts. The guy gets this massive contract. A, he hasn't earned it. And B, not exactly, the pillar of the community either. So you got yins and yangs in professional sports.
And I think the whole issue with the whole Memphis team is just all the outside stuff. Like, and you have, Dylan Brooks just screamed at Shannon Sharp, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And that was a whole thing. Now this Morant stuff, it's just.
And it's a shame because Morant is a hell of a player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's legit a superstar. And just look, I've been to Memphis. I don't know how you got to try hard to get in trouble in Memphis. There's just nothing else to do other than go to the Peabody and watch the Ducks walk out the door. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. But we'll see. We'll see how it all ends up. But, there's going to be, we're getting to that point. We're only we're a week away from the conference tournaments for the men's side. And a week from Sunday, they'll have the selection Sunday, and 68 teams will get there. But there's a lot of parity in college basketball this year. So we'll see how it works out. If Kansas can get back to the championship to defend their title, they're a good team. But win a lot of games to get there. So we'll see.
Don't count out Ryder either.
Well, I hadn't. But did they win their conference?
They're the second seed in the championships coming up.
Okay, is that an on-campus or is there they play in a position?
Oh, they play up in Albany, I think.
They play in Atlantic City.
Atlantic City, that's right. Yeah.
They moved the tournament down there.
Yeah, and it's they play in the MAC, and that's kind of like the worst conference in the entire.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, I think the MAC is actually, they win some games in the tournament. So
isn't that where Iona?
St. Peter's last year was from the MAC.
Yeah.
Is Iona?
They definitely do
Yeah,
well.
Iona's the MAC.
Yeah.
That's where Rick Pitino was, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bill. Hey, Bill. What do I
Say
think
you're
about
Brighton. I'm sorry. What's it?
Leicester, Man City, Brighton, and Arsenal tomorrow. Manchester City, I love. Arsenal, I love, but that's a high line. You might have to parlay that. I love Brighton, and I would stay away from the Leicester game, although I'd probably side with Leicester over Southampton. But look, I think Southampton has enough talent. They're young. I think they have enough talent to win a game every once in a while. So I don't love that game. That game and the Wolves Tottenham game, the two last games on the board, really, and Leeds Chelsea, really the last 3 games on the board, I'd probably stay away from. That's me, but
Southampton and Leicester City is on NBC at noon.
Yeah, it's a 12:30 game, so I'll be, can't believe they're putting that on at 12:30.
There's better games than that. I mean, come on.
Crazy stuff. Every once in a while they put those games like that on, and then Sunday morning you got Nottingham Forest Everton, which is an abomination. That's on TV. Super Sunday.
You got Man City and Newcastle.
Yeah, to be honest, you want to flip the games there and make that. I know why. It's good for the fans because they let the fans travel back from Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
Get battered by Manchester teams twice in a week. You don't get stuck. I mean, if they play those 12:30 games, by the time they end at 2:30, it's 7:30 there. The trains sometimes are tight and stuff. I mean, under in the Southampton game.
That's what I said. But
yeah, that's what
minus 188 or something like that.
Quarter 3 tomorrow, Florentine and Milan on Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
the Southampton game is 122. I don't know about that because Leicester scores some goals sometimes, and they leak goals. I don't know. That's a tough one to call. I'll be honest. I don't like the games.
Yeah, not.
Don't bet on games you don't like. That's always a good theory.
Oh no! Sorry, the under I was talking about was Nottingham and
Nottingham Forest. Yeah,
that was
Sunday.
Yep. My bad. Sorry, I see these bad teams sometimes, and it's just all
they all
get jumbled together. Exactly.
And that I didn't. The Copa del Rey yesterday. I was really, really disappointed. Real Madrid didn't play. They just didn't show up.
Yeah, what happened? I went to go watch that, and then just to find out, this was the only Copa del Rey match that wasn't getting broadcasted in Canada for some reason.
Yeah, they just didn't show up. I mean, Barcelona just played better. I mean, they really had a couple of the better chances. Just a bad day. I think all these added games are starting to catch up to Madrid.
They've had to play too much. They got the
I just think
Super Cup, the Club World Cup.
I think all these added games are starting to catch up to them. I mean, they can't be. I think it'll happen at some point with Manchester United. I know although their squad is now deeper because they're getting guys back from injuries, so they're able to rotate some more, and he's starting to count on some of the younger players a little bit more. Obviously Garnacho with the game winner at 18 years old. The guy's a superstar, just got called up for Argentina, but I'm telling
you, man, put him in Rashford's spot and just get Vout out of there. It's not doing it for you.
So Zach, do you watch the XFL at all? Because there's XFL this weekend.
I don't watch
it. Football kind of guy or not really?
I like football. I like the NFL and I like college football. Sometimes the XFL just kind of is new to me.
Yep. I mean, it's there's one game tomorrow. I thought they could have done a little bit less MLS-y and kind of, old. We got to remember when we talk about MLS, we're not talking about the TV broadcast that is stellar.
Yes.
We're
Right.
talking about the Don Garber and the
Right.
schedulers,
Scheduling.
how they want to
Trust me,
schedule.
I can tell you the TV people are not happy about that scheduling either.
Yes, we got it. The TV people still have no control over that.
Right.
Yeah, not their fault. They got to throw all the games at the same time.
I can assure you.
They got the
Yeah.
they got the the Saturday night game at 7, which is I think interesting, and then Sunday 1, 4, and 8. So I guess Sunday's still still a football day, so they're kind of banking on that. Just thought maybe they could do 2 games on Saturday and 2 games on Sunday, and maybe do 4 and 8,
right,
instead of 1, 4, and 8. But I don't know. It's just me. But I don't know. 7. Once again, I said I'll probably be home tomorrow night because I'm still not feeling great. So I'll probably just sit and watch that. I'll throw it on to see what it is. I heard it's pretty good. I heard it's it's entertaining. So
yeah, why not?
There's no. I don't think there's any.
I don't like the pregame show. It's good. I don't know if you guys got this, but yesterday they had what might have been the fastest strikeout in baseball history. Yandy Peralta is playing against the Pirates. He gets struck out on 3 pitches in 18 seconds.
Really?
Yep.
Thank you, pitch clock.
So 3 pitches, 18 seconds. And the best line about that came from Aaron Boone, who said, I looked down at my lineup card. I looked up and he was walking back. And I said, did he foul out? And he goes, no, he struck out.
I think there's a lot of pros and cons to the new pitch clock. I mean, it takes away from the classicness of the game, but at the same time, I think we're going to see more offense, faster strikeouts. I think it's good. I think the pros outweigh the cons pretty well.
Who I think this hurts more than anybody? The catcher. Because the catcher has to pay attention to first base if you got a runner on. He's got to pay attention to the pitch clock because he can't look over and the ball is thrown while he's looking down to first base. It's gonna be tough on catchers. It's hard enough now, but add that pitch clock. There's guys, pitchers in the league. We talked about Scherzer. We talked about Aaron Nola. Guys who have no problem. Throw me the ball. I'll turn around and throw it back to you.
Scherzer was born for the pitch clock.
Yeah, for the pitch clock. Had that Bob Gibson. We grew up watching Bob Gibson. That guy just, the king of the 2-hour baseball game. But getting a strikeout in 18 seconds. That's speeding up the old game. No question about it. I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's speeding it up. But there you go. So, yep. Spring training is alive and well as we speak. So, in the second week of spring training, which is actually this is a bit early for spring training. It usually starts the first week of March, but it is what it is. I guess since they started early because of the baseball classic, and not obviously they're going to simultaneously run spring training while they're doing the baseball classic. And the reason they did the baseball classic, by the way, as opposed to getting involved in the Olympics like the NBA got involved in the Olympics and NHL, was because they couldn't come to an agreement with the IOC on how to best structure it. So they said, screw it, we'll just do our own. So that was the theory of the case as to why there's a baseball classic and not baseball in the Olympics. But here's the thing that was really sad about that. As a get back at you from the IOC kicked the women's softball out of the Olympics. So what happened is they ended up doing a world softball championship as well, which for the women was nice. But I think they would have preferred to stay in the Olympics as opposed to do it this way. We'll see. But that's it's the IOC is a bit of a band of thieves anyway, so you have to be careful what happens in that situation. But yep, baseball's up and running. We talked about college hoops this weekend. Women's college hoops tournaments are in full force, and they'll have their situation with the pick will also come next week. So there'll be some interesting things there. That's pretty much. I don't know if you guys pay any attention to women's basketball, but it's pretty much chalk once you get to the tournament.
Yeah, the good teams are way too good.
The good teams are the good teams.
Yeah, you always end up with like the Stanford and in the finals.
South Carolina,
UConn gets there somehow, right? So yeah, they play early though. I saw some of their games yesterday. We're on at like 11 in the morning. I was like, wait, what? Before noon. So some early games. Make sure you get those bets in.
Yeah,
you're betting the women's college.
You're doing the college bet.
I'll definitely be doing my bracket, but yeah.
Do you do the women's bracket and the men's bracket?
Yeah, I do both. I did better on my women's bracket last year than I did on my men's bracket, probably because
just bet the chalk.
It tends to be more chalk. Exactly. There's not as many upsets.
Just bet just take the higher number every game, and you're gonna win.
The last four tournaments, I've lost 3 games.
In the women's?
In the women's. No, in the men's, man. That if I lost 3 games in the men's,
I'll say this right now. Last year I had North Carolina to win the East region at plus.
You talking about the men's?
And I had North Carolina to win the national championship at plus 5. It was like crazy number. Plus 12,500. So like I had halftime. What's that?
It'll be an even crazier number this year.
If they get in, I hedged at halftime, but I won like $2,000 on them winning the East on like a nothing bet,
Mm-hmm.
So, I think men's is tougher because these teams down to the 12 seed. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, these now with the transfers, you bouncing around.
That makes it even worse. But the women's game is because those players, you don't get one and dones. For the most part, they don't go to the transfer portal. So a Stanford, like you was talking about just a minute ago, Amadeus, a Stanford is going to have that team for 3 years. Going. A Baylor's going to have the same team for 3 years going. Some of those kids are even 4 years.
Bill, if you're still here, take Napoli. It just started. Forgot that they're in second minute against Lazio. Just take Napoli. I don't even know what the number is. Just take.
Yeah, no, Lazio's gonna get.
Finally,
it's not even gonna be fun.
Borussia Dortmund's playing Leipzig right now too.
They had a goal disallowed already.
Who Dortmund?
Yeah.
Oh, so what else is new? That's kind of like the stock and trade. Right?
The games today, there's actually, Fridays are usually kind of hit or miss. You got Sociedad and Cadiz, and
my Sociedad and my Cadiz.
Napoli, Lazio.
Both, huh?
Yeah, both. That's my
Cadiz. Dortmund, Leipzig right now is number 1 and number 3 in the table. Dortmund's right now ahead of Bayern Munich because of the draw so far right now, but.
I think they're going to fire Bayern's coach.
Coming in, it was number 2 and number 3 in the league. So I mean, that's a big time game. I mean, obviously both of them are playing in the Champions League, so they moved it to Friday. So
I got a buddy who's a big Bayern Munich fan, and when I told him Napoli might be the best team in Europe, he got so angry about it.
So offended.
It's probably the truth. I don't know. I wouldn't even put Bayern Munich in the top 5 if I'm being honest with you. I think there's teams in Europe right now that, like, if you ask me to name the top 5 teams in Europe, there's teams that aren't even in Champions League that I would probably name.
If I was Napoli and we're next or 2 weeks and you get drawn with Bayern Munich, I wouldn't be scared of that team.
You can score on them, no problem.
I'm telling you, at the end of the season, they're going to fire the coach.
Yeah, he won't be there.
And it has nothing to do with the coach.
If they win the Champions League, I think you can't get rid of him, obviously. I don't think
but he's not gonna. So.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Yeah, they might even get past PSG because I know Neymar is going to be missing, but if Mbappe and Messi are there, PSG is a different team with Mbappe. It's got a different pace to it.
Yeah, high speed.
Now Hakimi will be a defensive.
Oh, he's playing
Oh, he's gonna play. He can play still.
Yeah, because in France the rules are different. Like,
yeah, I tell like I don't.
Card doesn't mean it's actually like
you're still waiting on Ivan Toney to get banned.
Well, he's gonna he admitted to whatever.
Oh.
He denied some of them, but he admitted to some. So he'll whatever he gets banned, he'll be banned for the rest of the season. He'll probably be banned till August.
But that's what I mean. We're still waiting, man.
It's stupid though. The ban counts in the summer. Like how stupid is that?
Wait, how? They don't.
No, it's like banned for 5 months.
Oh, it's not like a game ban?
Banned for 4 months. No, it's like 4 months. So like the summer counts.
Because I remember there was a time when the NHL did it, and they suspended a guy for half the season. It was literally, it's like, no, not you suspended 40 games, not days, right? So that's interesting way to do it. I don't know why it would count in the off season, but
I guess PSG's not playing at all on the weekend.
PSG plays.
They play Sunday.
Yeah, they play. No, they play tomorrow.
They play tomorrow.
I forget who they play.
I'm looking.
I was looking at that earlier too. I've not taken them. They're like a minus 350.
I have it.
Knots. That's it.
They play no.
Oh, okay. I had to go to the end of the page to find.
Yeah, I don't know, Sean. Would you take them at that price? Like, you can't bet this team minus 1.5 with a Champions League match in Germany coming up.
I probably wouldn't. No.
Yeah, can't touch this team.
Well, they're gonna rest somebody.
Exactly, and that's why I was saying, like, take Fiorentina to beat my AC Milan tomorrow. Like, there's no way they're focused on that match.
Yeah, they got an 8-point lead now because they beat Marseille. So like it would have been down to 2, and then now it's back up to 8. So
Bill wants to know if Zach would like to speak about something.
Nantes isn't any good. They're terrible on the road. They've given up 18 goals in 13 games.
Yeah, Zach, give Bill your opinion on PSG Nantes.
I like Mbappe.
There you go.
Mbappe to score. There you go, Bill.
Bill, he's a big basketball guy. Ask him about the NBA tonight. He probably got some things on that.
Some thoughts on the NBA.
Yeah, Bill loves the hardcourt. He's been asking a few questions. He's been following. I know he's been following the college tournaments, the small ones, the Atlantic Sun and the Patriot and the Colonial. I think are going right now, or the Horizon.
The Patriot, I think, still has they still have the deal where you play on the higher seed. You could end up on the if it's 1 and 2.
That's pretty cool.
The home court of that team.
Yeah, because it rewards teams to do well in the regular season.
Right.
Well, if you do well in the regular season, all of a sudden, then they go play. They used to go, the MAC. They'd go play in Siena, and like you'd have, Siena, the one team would win all, and you're just like, it's a home court. I mean, it's ridiculous. Just because it was, like some, their arena. And you're like, all right, settle down.
Remember when Gary Williams coached Maryland?
Yes.
Many years ago. Every time I saw him around the time of tournament, he would keep saying to me, I don't see where this is fair. I don't see where this is fair. I said, what's the matter? He goes, we're going to Greensboro again. Because that's 20 minutes from North Carolina, and Duke and all that. And he says, how are we supposed to be, get a fair play whenever, we go to Carolina for every damn championship tournament? So the irony is really, go ahead.
I've been looking through scientifically, and I'm one of the teams that I think is a real, obviously it's not like off the cuff here, but I think UCLA is really, really dangerous. Zach, Celtics minus 11 tonight. Who the Celtics play?
The Nets.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to take the Celtics. They just beat, last time they faced the Nets, they beat them by like literally 50 points. So, and they still had Kyrie then. So,
Foxy's here. He says big win for Liverpool this weekend. Oh, who's Liverpool playing? Oh,
Yeah, I don't even want to entertain that one with a response. Like, I don't even see how you could picture that happening.
Yeah,
they suck. I don't care. They beat the Wolves 2-0.
What about City? What about City against the richest team, the two richest teams in the world, Manchester City and Newcastle, fighting,
battling it out.
Yep.
Hey, Sean, you know that UCLA team that you're talking about? That they are a team that you got to keep an eye out. Also, keep an eye out for Arizona.
You've been talking about UCLA all year, Jim.
I think it's in the West. I like that Arizona team a little bit. I just think, San Diego State, obviously kind of getting hot now. 14-3, they won the Mountain West. There's some pretty good teams here. I think Tennessee, obviously, they're losing that player to the knee injury. I think is in trouble. There's some teams that you're going to be able to want to watch. Oral Roberts went 18-0 in the Summit League, and that league's not anything to walk through. So
don't sleep on St. Mary's either.
St. Mary's, there's some pretty good teams out there. It's going to be
Big East Conference.
Sorry,
yeah, it's going to be. I think those first, any of these Mid-America teams that get in, Toledo's 24-6, Kent's 24-6. Akron's 21-9. They should get a few teams in this tournament. Toledo's won 14 in a row, obviously.
I wish I could take credit for this line, but I can't. And basically, the line came from Jay Billis, and that was when the Earth is wiped out, there's only going to be two things left: cockroaches and the Mac. And as I said, I wish I had said it, but I didn't. But yeah, the Mac, they just keep enjoying life. They do well in football. They do well in
they're great, and they're this. I mean, once again, now it really doesn't matter because everything's on TV now anyway because ESPN Plus. But before ESPN Plus was around, when they had the Tuesday and Wednesday night games and everybody was watching them, and you're a college kid, and you're a high school kid, and you're like, well, I could go somewhere and sit, or go somewhere and be on TV every week, in October, November, and it's a good school.
Actually play.
City 4-0 tomorrow. Back to reality, but we'll hang on for European spot, 7th, 8th. 8th will not be European spot, though, Foxy. 7th will. 8th is outside. I agree. I think you guys are in a little bit of trouble now. I think the lack of scoring is going to be a problem for them going forward. It'd be interesting to see where they actually finished. If Newcastle or Liverpool actually finishes higher, Liverpool right now on 39 points. A lot of people are thinking Liverpool's going to finish top 4. I still don't see it.
Even if they won, they're only good at home. They can't do anything on the road, and they have such a strong home advantage. Cough, cough, far cough. But
I think it's going to be Arsenal, City, United in some order. Top 3, and then maybe Tottenham holds on, maybe not. Maybe Liverpool makes a run, maybe not. I still don't think they're good enough, but
I could see Brighton getting up into the 4th spot.
They could. They have 3 games in hand on Tottenham. That's the only problem, though. They don't have enough. I don't know about the depth. Fulham is still pretty good. I think Chelsea's going to be out, but. Newcastle, yeah, look, they're only 2 points ahead of Fulham right now. So,
hey, Sean, I have a question back to college basketball for a minute. I was just looking at the Ivies. Down the street from you, Princeton. Are they, they're usually right around there. They're tied with Yale at 9-4 in the conference.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good. Obviously, I hate Princeton because, we used to go in there, and I remember the first year when I was at Columbia, we used to go in there and we went in and beat them. And the only year Columbia was good, my freshman year, and I was talking smack, and the whole Princeton lacrosse team was about to beat me up. And like as we were walking out, they were dragging me out. And then Princeton lacrosse won the national title that year. So I was probably the one that
inspired them.
Inspired them.
You
Yeah,
can take sole credit for that, Sean.
exactly. Yeah.
You should. You ask them for the trophy.
Exactly.
I think Yale, Princeton, and Penn are all 9-4.
Yeah.
All three of those teams are in. Brown. It's gonna. The team that finishes first right now, Yale, is on top. They get the. I think they get the easier game, obviously, in the semis because they'll play either Brown or Bill Colgate is very good. The Patriot League. I was looking at those.
When's the Patriot League tournament start?
I think it might have already.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the ones that started.
They're 24-8, 17-1 in the league. Schedule. Let's see.
Because the Patriot League always puts somebody in the tournament that causes havoc, at least for the first week.
Yeah, I think they started.
There's
a million games today. It's crazy how many games there are today. Like it's championship week is like championship 2 weeks. First of all,
right?
They need to change the name of it. Princeton plays Penn tomorrow, and the winner. I guess the winner will get a share of the title at minimum.
Well, Colgate beat Loyola. This is in the Patriot League tournament yesterday. They're the 1 seed. They won almost by 20 points. 92-73. American is the 7 seed. They beat Navy, which was a 2 seed, 52-51. Lafayette Lehigh. That's a rivalry game. Lafayette
won the
6 seed beat Lehigh, the 3rd seed. Loyola of Maryland. Oh, this is okay. That's and Army beat VU. So,
all right.
It's like your 4 is Lafayette, Army, American, and Colgate. So,
there you go.
There you go. So that's
a team I would have liked to really do some damage in the tournament is I would have liked them if it wasn't due to new outside information is Alabama, but they got a lot of outside stuff going on that I don't know if they'll be able to really push that all aside.
Miller's still getting pat down in introduction, so it's all good to him.
Mm-hmm.
Cash UNC Asheville, Northwestern Iowa plus the points so far today on USC Upstate plus. Yeah, Bill, I know you're doing a good job with the basketball this week. I think those games are ones where you can kind of.
I love that line, that name USC Upstate. That's a.
Yep.
Not,
South Carolina Upstate. Yep.
And cashed on UNC Asheville. They've actually Northwestern Iowa plus the points so far today, or USC Upstate plus Northern Iowa. I've been to Northern Iowa, Bill. We got lost. They played football and basketball in the same building, not unlike Syracuse, except for it's a varnish-looking building that Northern Iowa plays in. And it's only about 20 minutes from Minnesota border. It's way up north in Iowa. Cold and the winter time. Yeah, we did a basketball game up there one time. Let's see what we got. Asheville. Is that the Sun? What I get screwed up now.
Asheville, they're in
conference are they in now? They keep changing.
Yeah, Conference USA, right?
They went to Conference USA?
Or
Sun Belt. I thought let me see. Hold on. Conference USA, Florida Atlantic probably is gonna win that.
In the Big South.
Yeah, Big South. They're when the one that used to be with where Coastal Carolina was. UNC
Yeah.
16-2
Yeah.
in that league. South Carolina Upstate finished 10-8 in the league. So yeah, no.
Well, right now at this is halftime score, guys. This is a halftime score. Gardner Webb 13, USC Upstate 13.
Yikes!
Wow.
There you go, Bill. Hope you took the under in that game, Bill.
Talk about a four-quarter offense. Yeah. Campbell beat Presbyterian 68-63. UNC Asheville beat Charleston already today. And Campbell plays Longwood, for those of you who can't wait. That's tonight.
The Camels.
Yep. Winthrop and Radford tonight. And tomorrow, UNC Asheville versus one of the winners from tonight. So it's your latest update on the Big South tournament. Should you be looking for it. And I don't know any, but there's probably, you said the Horizon, right?
I'm not sure. It's something like the Colonial or the Horizon.
Well, the Colonial's next week.
Okay, then it's probably the Horizon, I think.
And the Horizon tournament, Green Bay, the number one CB, Wright State. The favorite. Look, if you want to send your kid to college, ride this one. IUPUI continues to lose. Fort Wayne 73, IUPUI 69. Horizon final. Yes, these are all yesterday's scores. Youngstown State got beat by a point by Northern Kentucky. Cleveland State got by in the number 2 seed, got by Milwaukee, 65-52. Robert Morris loses to Milwaukee, 64-58. Detroit Mercy, 65-61. Cleveland State, Green Bay headed perhaps to a final in that one. So that's the Horizon. Mainly northern parts of Indiana, northeastern Ohio, and Michigan. Looks like. Oh, and throw in Milwaukee. So,
Isn't Oakland in New York?
Oakland is in Detroit.
Yeah,
Oh,
Detroit.
it's in Michigan. Okay.
And Robert Morris is in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Actually, a very tough school to get into. Academic.
Guy from Detroit Mercy fell 3 points short of Pistol Pete's record. Damn.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Forced a 68 point in a tournament game. I forget. That was. He used to put up some serious numbers in the old NC, in the old SEC. All right, boys. Any final thoughts before we get out of here? Zach, welcome back anytime. And if you want to join us, if you just want to do your own show and need some help, let me know.
I will do.
Zach, I'll get you all his. Just if stay on after we go off, and I'll get you all his info.
So, all right. Any final thoughts, Amadeus, my friend? Anything you want to get off your chest before we get out of here?
Yeah, no, just gamble responsibly this weekend. There's a lot of games.
Yeah. Be sure to be, careful with your cash. Sean, anything? You're feeling better. That's all good. We're all happy for that.
Yeah, don't get COVID.
Yes. Okay. That's a good one. Okay.
Yes. Thanks for the PSA.
Thanks, guys. So we'll see you. I'm Jim. He's Sean. In the other corner, it's Zach and Amadeus. We'll see you on Monday, 2:00, everybody. Take care.